Well, guys, good news. We finally got the green light from the higher-ups to invade Earth. We can stop watching this news.
Hey, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm being told there's a 90-day pause?
Oh, man.
All right, back to work. We gotta keep sifting through this chaotic news cycle.
Oh, God.
Bleep, let's get Milana Vayntrub on the landline to help us out.
Calling.
Hey, thanks so much for being in our weird viewfinder window, Milana.
Oh, I am happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You don't have to talk like a freak, okay? You can talk like a normal person.
This is my accent. I'm not from here. You are xenophobic.
I would still rather listen to someone talking like that than RFK.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
It's a different kind of alien accent.
It actually would make sense if it came out that RFK was, like, possessed by an alien.
It's the brainworm, man.
That would be it's the brainworm. That is the alien.
The little guy in Men in Black.
Would make sense. Like, if they wanted to take over our country, our planet, they already have the diseases on the planet. We just need to get them to stop vaccinating against them.
Wow, that's so much more brilliant.
A 90-day pause effective immediately. Look at the straight shoot-up line on your screen.
Now we go to the shoot-up line in the bathroom of every hedge fund where traders are.
Thank you, President Arsonist, for putting out the fire.
Just incredible market manipulation.
I don't put it past that there's just like a ton of insider trading here.
Guaranteed.
Where he's playing with the market for his friends to jerk off to.
There's so much jerking off.
He made $2.5 billion today, and he made $900 million.
This is so good, and he's lowering these reciprocal tariff charges.
Pablo just always drunk. He's either sad drunk from the market or happy drunk from the market.
Sir, the camera's this way.
Which were way too high to begin with because they were based on trade deficits and made no sense whatsoever.
But Trump is always right.
He's lowering the tariff that he implemented that was too high.
Well, when you say it like that.
Only he has the genius to know. You have to get in the mind of the tariff to know how to defeat it.
He's adapting to the reality.
He's a tariff chameleon.
This is common sense Donald Trump.
And the market.
Common sense businessman
Seriously.
Donald Trump.
As opposed to batshit crazy Donald Trump.
Never know which one you're going to get.
That's the normal. When he's saying common sense, he's like, this is the riptide that you should get used to.
This is the most brilliant thing. He's such a realist.
He's many things, but he's not a realist.
This is just wonderful. This is Trump at his best.
When it comes to reversing bad policy under pressure and claiming it as victory, nobody does it better.
And then the reciprocal tariffs go down to 10% for these 75 nations that have not retaliated against the United States.
Wow.
What genius.
So nice of them to not retaliate.
You know what would be great is if we didn't talliate in the first place.
Charles, this is one of the greatest days in American economic history.
Oh my fucking God.
Unlike yesterday, which was one of the worst.
You can tell that on Fox Business now because they've switched to all green background graphics.
I think we're going to call it the art of the reciprocal trade deal.
Rolls right off the tongue.
I'll tell you, all the nervous Nellies on Wall Street consistently underestimate the power of the president.
Everyone who listened to me saying that we weren't going to negotiate, you should have known that we were going to negotiate.
I also love that the best day in stock market history is just like what a Tuesday was in Biden time. We're just back to being what we just were.
Yeah, exactly.
This roller coaster is so fun going up and down. Biden was just a monorail, okay? And that is the least exciting ride at the park.
It was a moving walkway.
Excuse me, Raquel, if I could just add to what the secretary said.
If I could just spin what he was saying.
Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal.
Is she just plugging his book?
Guys, if everyone could buy Art of the Deal, that would help us out a huge amount.
And the Trump Bible, please. We're selling them in a package.
2 for 1.
You tried to say that the rest of the world would be moved closer to China when in fact we've seen the opposite effect.
Now allow me to open up my coat and show you what Miss Gadget has been working this week.
Can I sell you a tariff?
People were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippee, you know? They were getting a little bit yippee, a little bit.
I don't know. Isn't yippee usually used to describe good things?
Yeah.
They were getting a little bit happy. They were feeling a little bit of joy. So we had to cut that off.
A little bit woohoo.
They were getting yippy like those adorable direwolf puppies.
No other president would have done what I did. No other president. I know the presidents. They wouldn't have done it.
That's the first true thing he's ever said.
Van Buren wouldn't have had the balls.
The whole thing, everything is just about his marketing.
Right.
He did this whole thing just to be next to that green box.
Yeah.
The countries are calling me.
They're kissing my butt.
Those little bitches, they do anything to save their people.
You said that these tariffs would go in effect on Monday. You said no pause, and today there is a pause. So how can people believe your word today, sir?
It's not a question of that. You have to have flexibility.
You have to be willing to go back on your word.
You have to be willing to not admit you're wrong.
Yeah.
And you have to be so flexible that tomorrow you admit you have to be rigid. That's how flexible you gotta be.
I could say, here's a wall, and I'm going to go through that wall. I'm going to go through it no matter what.
I'm gonna build my own wall to go through. I'm just gonna keep building walls and talking about walls.
These guys know that better than anybody, right? You got to go around them sometimes. You're not going to go through them.
You guys get the concept of walls, right? You understand what that does?
Let me lay it out for you. So if you have a floor and you need to separate it from another room.
Now it's different from a fourth wall. Everyone's seen The Office?
Yeah. Jim, he was always smiling at the camera, wasn't he?
Sorry, are these the race car drivers that he's standing in front of?
You've crashed into walls before. Right?
Yeah, you guys understand.
You guys all have faces made of Play-Doh, right?
With the exception of maybe 20 Republicans in the Senate, the Republican Party inside Congress is done with democracy.
Who are your 20 Republicans? The Democrats only oppose Trump. And then they say, like, but the Republican Party still has a core of good people. They still cling to this belief. Even if you say, like, Susan Collins, say Lisa Murkowski, fine. I don't agree, but fine. Who is after that?
I think it's just a little bit of like democratic politeness in a way. Like,
Yes.
I've heard AOC talk about this where it's like, why do they get to do January 6th, but we f***ing throw a tea party when
Right.
Trump wins?
Yes.
We're not polite. We're now like the kind of people pleaser that my therapist warns me about.
Right. Yeah. Have to be the bigger person.
But for what? To be stepped on? To
Yes.
be ruined?
Yeah, there are no Republicans who are people pleasers. And maybe that means they actually all went to therapy and were like, oh, great, I don't need to do that.
I'm looking out for number one, all right?
Yeah.
I can set boundaries, and my boundaries are not helping poor people.
Yeah, they all had parents who were like, you are the best. If they are mean to you, it's because they're jealous of you.
Yeah.
That tracks. All their moms are Parker Posey and the White Lotus.
One thing I learned about the coal miners, that's what they want to do. You could give them a penthouse on Fifth Avenue and a different kind of a job, and they'd be unhappy. They want to mine coal. That's what they love to do. And
Yeah, that's what they want.
They crave the mines. They are desperate.
Send me back down.
They're high on the dust.
I've seen Dune.
The dust in their lungs is what keeps them going.
They need black lung. You could offer them a penthouse. I won't.
I offered them all a golden toilet. They all said no.
Kilmer Abrego Garcia was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Why does the Justice Department believe that he shouldn't be here?
Well, first of all, it was an administrative error as to why he was deported.
Perhaps this is sexist of me to say. I just think it's so funny that she flips her hair before she talks about this. Wow. It's such like, and they hate drag queens. Like, that was the most drag queen move I've ever seen.
It's like she's doing the intro to RuPaul.
Hi, my name is Administrative Error.
ICE testified he was a gang member.
In a court of law that perhaps decided if he should be.
No.
ICE testified, so.
Ironclad.
The defense had argued that he was training to be an electrician. Well, the last gang member we arrested, who was a violent murderer.
Well, here's a completely different situation that has nothing to do with the situation at hand.
Was also hanging wallpaper in a place called the Villages.
Well, that doesn't sound like America's friendliest hometown to me.
These people dared to be employed. Could you believe it?
The Senate was not able to advance a bill to restrict transgender students from playing on women's sports teams. This is coming in the wake.
Oh, he's a bobblehead. I have one of those.
It's a disaster. This young girl in Maryland that on the fencing team that said, listen, I can't beat this guy.
It's such like a Disney movie tactic to be like, these poor girls. And their baseball team doesn't raise enough money because of all these transgender. You just create a fake victim.
Yeah.
Their constituents can't read. They literally do not care that literacy rates are so low in their district.
Oh, especially his. He's from Alabama.
We have entire men's teams across this country now that are turning trans.
Yeah.
Women's teams, they're turning trans.
The whole team is turning.
Well, I mean, that solves your problem.
It sounds like a caper. That sounds like a fun movie.
I do not care about any sport, but if there is a team that's all trans, I am supporting them.
I am in.
You're a little fat guy living in your mom's basement, wearing your mom's pajamas, and you think it's okay to keep your sneakers on, you come and scratch these trucks.
You gotta wear boat shoes if you're going Tesla scratching.
You're gonna love this car, powered by coal.
Let's bring in college student and Tesla attack victim, Abby Gill.
That's the happiest victim I've ever seen.
When I watch television, I see these people coming out of the store wearing their mom's pajamas. They're fat guys.
Old labia neck over here means business.
In their little sneakers, and they're sneaking up and scratching the cars.
They're sneaking in their sneakers.
That's why they call him that.
I like the way that guy was in Thailand, and he was keying cars, and they took care of that with a caning. You remember that?
You remember that cruel and unusual punishment?
And meanwhile, she's just going, and when is it my turn?
Yeah,
and when am I going to talk?
Are we done talking about caning?
Grandpa, stop. You're embarrassing me.
And people are tired of this stuff, and they're going to take it into their own hands. I don't encourage it.
But I do have a hidden Punisher tattoo in my neck slit.
But if I'm in my vehicle and somebody scratches it on purpose, they're going to have to call the police on me.
I promise you, I'm going to rip this mustache off and give you a whipping with it. I promise you.
All right, well, I think we reached our limit this week.
This is so fun.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you for coming on the show. Is there anything you want to talk about or
promote or, yeah.
No, people could follow me. I'm always raising money for something. I'm going to be in a movie with Ryan Gosling next year called Project Hail Mary.
Whoa.
Nice.
It's great. It's going to be, I think it's going to be the best movie ever.
Whoa.
No doubt.
And
Have you started shooting it?
Yeah. I'm done shooting it.
Oh
it's
my
like a lot
God.
of post special effects. Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much.
Well, I'm honored. This was seriously so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show.
So cool. Thanks so
Anytime.
much. Oh my gosh.
Anytime.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
we'll have you on again.
Will you guys also consider releasing the president's fitness plan? He actually looks healthier than ever before. Healthier than he did 8 years ago, and I'm sure everybody in this room could agree. Is he working out with Bobby Kennedy? And is he eating less McDonald's?
Hey Humies, thanks for tuning in. If you like the show, help us invade your planet by subscribing to our YouTube channel or drop us a comment. We really love those. If you really like the show, subscribe to our Patreon where we share some bonus content. All right, okay, gotta go. Bye!